I tell people often the first thing that you need to do is actually have tasted your wine, have a reference point, have a starting point, so that you understand the fruit base in the wine, the structure in the wine, how much alcohol, whether it's seen oak or not, and what that flavor profile is. Because if you don't have that, then you can't go in the right direction. So that's your starting point. So the second thing that we like to do is now head down to the garden. When we're in the garden, the first thing we're focusing on are fresh seasonal herbs that are going to be complementary to the certain variety that we're picking to pair a dish with that day. Certain varieties like Cabernet Sauvignon have a great affinity to things like sage, thyme, rosemary, as well as others. And the idea is that like and like make less like, not more like. So when a wine shows a little bit of an herbaceous quality, whether it be that similar to sage or that similar to chives, if we use it in our food, we can minimize the way it showcases itself when we're tasting the wine and the food together. So the next thing that we're going to take into consideration is other factors in the wine. With a Cabernet Sauvignon, often the non-fruits come through as oak. Smoky, chocolatey, cedary, spicy. You get a whole range of things like vanillin and dry clove. Also, for instance, something like mushrooms here have a nice earthiness, and they can play nicely off of the kind of Rutherford dust, loamy earthiness that a Cabernet may express when grown in this area here. By using kale, an inherently slightly bitter and iron-rich vegetable, we can downplay some of the rich, tannic, slightly bitter characteristics that come through in a Cabernet. Again, utilizing the concept of like and like makes less like. The fact that our Cabernet probably has moderate to moderate high levels of alcohol will mean that it's going to pair nicely with richer, more fatty foods, if you will. Now, relatively lean when we're talking about this kale dish in front of us, but we did introduce Spanish olive oil as a vegetable fat, and we did introduce all the marbling and fattiness of that streaky applewood smoked bacon. So by having some richness of the bacon in the dish and the olive oil in the dish, we can complement the higher levels of alcohol that a more ripe Cabernet like this 2009 that we're going to be sampling with it in just a moment can tend to have. Works really nicely together.